just going to start the show. Neither of us have seen the same shit. And we're just going to see what happens. It's not canceled, Rhodey. I've decided that we're just going to talk and see what the fuck happens. And also, I'm going to do something that's kind of unprecedented for this show. And as my cat jumps into a box behind me and makes a bunch of noise, I'm going to just throw... This is the active link right now for anybody who wants to come on the show and just talk. It should have just posted. There we go. I think it did.
Nice.
Yeah. So
can you hear me? I'm just.
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. So
let me just get this cat out of this box here. Yeah. This is active. This is real professional shit we got going on here.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Rebel Rose.
There we go.
We're getting in there.
Don't worry. Fuck it. Did it actually send the link? I can't even see.
Yeah, I see the link.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, anybody wants to cut? Risky biz. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. EV Bucks hates Rebel Rose. So, Generation Offended. How are you today?
Good, man. Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
Well, thank you for being the only person interested. It's a great. So we're gonna say fuck it, fuck topics, fuck everything that you see in that title. It might get talked about, it might not. Who gives a fuck? I'll tell you what. I'll give you my like 30-second review of Toy Story 5. That way, it's at least semi-relevant to what was on the title.
Sure.
A movie that did not need to exist, but was actually still kind of fun. It was exactly what I expected it to be. Hello, Sparkles. How are you? It was exactly what I expected it to be. It had its moments. It was cute at times. It actually addressed some things that are kind of modern concerns with a lot of kids. You know, the screen time and the lack of actually having a childhood and moving on to like your teenage years too quickly. No, I'm not drunk. I'm very sober. I'll get drunk. Fuck it. I'll do it. I will do it. It's it actually did. Hey, anybody wants to come on? Go ahead. The link is in the fucking chat. Go ahead. I'm not gonna give you a lot of details on it. Don't worry, Movie Blues. It's basically I wouldn't say they say that technology is bad. I would say that what they're saying in the movie is that technology in abundance is bad. And, in conjunction with what you do, a kid can still be a kid with it. There was moments. It was fun. I would have liked to see more Woody. That was, he was barely in the movie. I don't know if anybody knows that. It was very much a Jesse oriented movie.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that makes kind of sense.
Right.
Any bumming in it? What the fuck? What do you mean bumming?
Sex?
No.
It's English. English for like gay sex.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was fine. No one on any open bar panel likes anything. So I've been there. I've been on that show like 20 times, I can tell you. But
what are the main gripes about the film?
My main gripes are, like I said, some of the main characters. Buzz is in it, but he's kind of a background character. Woody is like almost exactly a background character. I think he's maybe in, maybe 20% of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that was by design or if it was just like Tom Hanks wasn't really all that interested in it anymore. He just kind of showed up because he felt obligated.
Okay. Was Buzz Lightyear
He was in it significant. Actually, there was a lot of Buzz Lightyear because I don't know if you saw that scene that they released. It was like almost a year ago at this point, where there's a bunch of Buzz Lightyears that are in a like a shipping crate that gets lost on a desert island.
Okay. Yeah.
And then they slowly try to find Star Command, which at first I was like, well, I don't really know why this is relevant. And then eventually it becomes relevant. They slowly merge that mini story with the primary story. And it's funny because like the whole time they're all these like advanced models of Buzz. They're, obviously the the original Buzz, sorry, is now very obsolete. He's just a regular toy, and these ones have all these insane things. Like
Right.
they have, first of all, I mean, it's kind of a spoiler, but they actually can fly, which is really, uh, which is a cool kind of payoff to to the years of that being a joke.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but like they're basically Wi-Fi hotspots, and they're all these bells and whistles that the original Buzz even doesn't have. And um, the whole time they think the so they never really get to the point where they don't think they're toys at first, just like the original Buzz. But then they're just kind of told they're toys, and they're like, okay, cool. Like they just, they just accept it immediately.
Okay.
Just like,
Right.
um, but so it was one thing I was told that they were gonna address the fact that there's always been a plot hole to me with the original movie. And that plot hole was always that Buzz doesn't know he's a toy, and he still does the toy thing. He still becomes, uh,
Lifeless.
yeah, lifeless when a human is around.
Okay.
And I was told that my cat is outside of the door meowing, but no, I was told that it was going to address that, and they do in the lowest possible way that they could, where they're just like, all of them do that. A car is going by or whatever, and they all go lifeless. And then one stands up and goes, "Why'd we do that?" And everyone's like, "I don't know." And that's it. It's never addressed again. It's just, I was
Okay.
like, so
I haven't seen the films in a long time, so I forgot. I thought Buzz does accept that he's
he
a
does, but it's
toy.
a lot slower of a process in the
Right.
first movie for him.
I know
The
he starts
almost the
off.
entirety of the movie in the original one. I've seen every Toy Story many times. I love Toy Story. Um, Almost the entirety of the first movie, I would say at least about 70% of it is him not accepting that he's a toy, and then
Mhm.
maybe 80, and then toward the end he starts to accept it. Here they're told once, and they're just like, okay, cool, we're toys. Yeah, it's awesome. We're fucking toys.
That's
And
funny.
but so there was some I didn't take a shit ton of notes because I knew I wasn't going to be actually writing a review or anything.
Mhm.
um but there's one of the things about it, obviously, it's the technology. And Bonnie, the girl who got them at the end of the third movie, and inevitably was the girl who had them in the fourth movie, was she's having trouble making friends, right?
Mhm.
And the reason why she's having trouble making friends, because she's like a normal kid. She's like what a kid would have been in the 90s. Wants to play with toys, wants to go outside, and all the other kids on the block are just on their tablets or their computers or whatever they have going on, and they're like essentially zombies.
Right.
And I think that that's actually so. I wasn't a big fan of the fourth movie. I didn't hate it. I didn't sit here. I wasn't one of these people who sat there and said it was this utter dog shit, piece of garbage. I said it was okay. It had its moments, but it inevitably fell flat because we had no connection to a lot of what was going on. And because of the new not main character, but main child.
Mhm.
Here, I feel like there was a lot more connection because there was a lot of realism to what the issue was. It's an actual. Ooh, Stupenzo's showing up. I'll just give him a minute to like figure out what's going on, and then we'll
Sure,
get
yeah.
him in here. But yeah, I actually audibly laughed a few times here and there. Which is about as much as you can expect from an adult with a lot of these movies. I think there's a lot of
Right.
times it's like same old shit, different day. Hey, okay, we'll get Stupenzo in here. What's up, brother?
Yo,
I I
I
I
should change
promise you,
my.
I'm not drunk.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I guess I'll change. Let me turn myself into Woody or something somehow.
go ahead. Yeah, it's fine. I just
Bust
do
out
that
the old Grok.
because yeah, Grok actually gave me a lot of shit over this, by the way. It wouldn't, and then ChatGPT is fucking stupid. They're like, "Oh no, we can't make a character that's owned by a third." I'm like, "Fuck off!" It's
Yeah.
owned by Disney. We can't even kind of make it. I
Boo.
was like, I paid you.
I saw Toy Story 5 and it was better than 4, but You
I
know,
agree.
it is the Jesse movie.
Yeah,
I didn't.
it was a little too much Jesse for me. But yeah, go
Joan
ahead.
Cusack sounds very old too. You know.
It's kind of the what's her face from Starfleet Academy. She played Invisigirl, not Invisigirl, Elastigirl.
Holly Hunter.
Holly, yeah, it's kind of like the same thing where her voice is not. It's aging rapidly,
Yeah.
and unfortunately they're like. I think that happens. It's weird. I feel like what older like an older male voice doesn't sound as dissimilar to like the aging isn't as obvious. Like you listen to Tim Allen and Tom Hanks, and they clearly sound a little older, but they don't sound as much older as they are.
Right.
Yeah. So what were your gripes with it specifically?
Just it wasn't very funny because that's the one thing that the first three. I like two the best by a mile.
I think you're the
But
first
like,
person I've ever heard actually say that.
I do like two better. Three is okay. Three is kind of like I was hearing someone describe it as like the reverse of Up, where like everyone loves that first 15 minutes of Up. Everyone loves the last 15 minutes of Toy Story 3. But yeah, two is just really great. But the thing about the first three is they're very funny. There's a lot of good stuff in there, especially when you start dealing with like what was in part three with like Ken and Barbie, Michael Keaton, and like
the
that's
only issue
great.
I kind of had with 2 and 3 was that was when you could see that the product placement was really starting to take hold.
Oh yeah, but five I just did not find very funny, which I was disappointed about. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I found the one character. So one of the characters, obviously, it's the technology thing, and one of the characters in the movie is a potty training assistant.
right?
And I thought a lot of the stuff with him was funny. Like oh, you want to play the game? It's like you have two choices. You can pick A or B, and wherever the poop is, it's a great game. It's like those kind of jokes were kind of funny, but
Other people have noticed that there's just like a huge plethora of poop related toys that are out. Like if you go in the kids' toy section, there's like a lot of like feces and poop related toys and board games and stuff. It's very weird.
I'll have to take your word on that because
I took someone else's word on it, so
yeah, I'm taking third party word on this.
objection, hearsay. Yeah.
No, but I mean, I didn't hate it. It's like I'm not gonna. It's definitely so.
No.
1 through 3 are clearly head and shoulders above this, I guess, next trilogy, so to say, because they're probably gonna round it out with another movie, and it's. I've always said, the first one stands above everything, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, you think you prefer the second one, but I think that an overwhelming majority of people think the first one's the best one, and the second one did the one thing that it did much better, and almost actually all of them did better than the first one, was there's an actual villain, because there's really not a villain in the first one when you actually think about it, right? Sid's not really a villain. He's just a kid. He has no idea that these are sentient beings. He's the only thing he's guilty of is he's kind of a shitty brother. That's the only thing he's really guilty of. He doesn't know that Combat Carl felt the explosion. He doesn't know. He doesn't know that. He's even good to his dog. Like, he doesn't abuse his dog. He goes and drops money on drop claw machines to get toys for his dog. He's actually not a bad kid. He's just
Yeah.
And then they actually started adding legitimate villains to the movies. So that was kind of Al's Toy Barn? I think it was in the second one, if I recall correctly, with Wayne Knight. And then Lotso. It's funny because the fourth one, almost nothing sticks out. The only things I remember are like the minor characters from the fourth one. I saw Duke Kaboom. Shit.
Dude, I saw what you need to watch to understand Toy Story 5. And it's basically all the Toy Story movies, which is funny. But then Toy Story 4, it was like, it actually isn't Toy Story 4. It's like why Toy Story 4 ruined the franchise, and it's like a 6.5 hour like EFAP style video from some guy. And I actually looked up the video and found it, and I got through like 30 minutes of it. I'm like, dude, this like autism is through the charts.
I don't think that the fourth one ruined the franchise. I just think that its problem was it lacked direction. It just didn't have a clear, concise point it was trying to make. It was just like, toys are getting old, and that's kind of been the thing ever since the third. Really, it's been the thing ever since the first movie, if you think about it. Woody was already aging out as a toy. He was and then the second movie was, oh, well, yes, we're going to a museum. We're aging out. The third one was, we're being donated. We're aging out. So it's kind of the same message being recycled over and over again in all of the movies.
Yeah. I mean, this one was good because it had a different kind of message, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I do think that it was actually trying to tackle a legitimate real world problem, which is in an interesting way, and I give it props for that. I give it props for trying to look at anybody who has any kid in their life, whether it be their own or a nephew or just a neighbor kid that their family is close to. You can see that this upcoming generation is going to be much different than all of us because they're not connecting. There's no actual development in people skills. I do have a super chat though. Ooh, nice. That's actually that's a fantastic. They did a really good job with that. I like how they kept the dual...
the 6 pairs of sunglasses on my face,
it's 6 pairs? I always thought it was 4. 2.
It's 4 right here, but there's a 5th one on the top of my head. It's funny.
No, yeah. There,
under the hat.
Yeah. So I do have a super chat here. It's separated from the actual amount, but it's $1.99 from our friend Movie Blues. Said he'd trade 3 of the Toy Story sequels for 1 Ants sequel.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Ants was great.
Ants was ahead of Ants was ahead of its time,
Mm-hmm.
But wasn't Ants DreamWorks?
Yes, and it was before Bug's Life, right?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of a Bug's Life. I've never really cared for it.
No. And I remember Bug's Life taking a lot of the thunder from Ants, but Ants is one of those movies that it's so much better when you watch it older. You're like, dude, this movie's deep.
Sylvester Stallone.
When the grasshopper when the grasshopper has that speech about the many like overpowering the few ruling class, it's like damn.
Wait, no, the grasshoppers are Bug's Life.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I got it mixed up.
You're doing the thing. Everybody confuses them. And that was wasn't that who the fuck played the grasshopper again? It was
Oh, in Bug's Life?
In A Bug's Life. It was, what the hell?
I don't remember.
James Woods. Wasn't it James Woods?
Maybe. I know Chris Walken was in one of them, and Gene Hackman, I think, is in Ants, and Sly Stallone, and Jennifer Lopez.
Sylvester Stallone in Ants was fantastic. Every scene that he's in is it's Kevin Spacey. That was what it was. It was Kevin Spacey. For some reason I thought it was James Woods. But there's several of the Pixar movies that I think are would benefit from another movie.
Well, I used to say that about The Incredibles. The sequel's okay.
The Incredibles, the first one's just fucking...
It's the best.
The first one was perfect.
It's my favorite Pixar movie, and it might be my favorite superhero movie.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. That's a really good
It's definitely the best Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
I got to say, though, I got to see the second one in the theater before they changed, like, the epilepsy lights. Because, what's his name? The villain's got an awesome name. The Screenslaver. Yeah. Like, when you first see the epileptic... There's, like, posters all over the theater saying, hey, watch out, this movie causes seizures. And I was like, haha, people are so fragile these days. And then when the scene happened, I was like in my theater seat, like, holy shit, like I'm about to fucking have a seizure. This is insane. I understand why they toned it down in the, they like re-released it and toned it down, but it was intense, man. I liked it.
The one that I always, because what is it? Cars, right? So I like Cars, and the first one, it kind of is the same thing that happens with almost all these Pixar movies. The first one is considered by many to be the best. The second one was a horrible letdown in Cars because had barely anything to do with what the premise was. It's like they were, oh, we're gonna go to Europe and have a huge Grand Prix, and then it turns out it's really just a movie about Mater being a really shitty spy and secret agent
Right.
for the most part. And then the third one is really the true sequel. But I do think that Cars is one that there's a lot of kids there's a lot of people who are still they're still kids, and then there's like young adults who that was their Toy Story, like for what we had, when that came out when we were really young.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's one I wouldn't mind seeing another sequel to. But they ended up doing a lot of shorts for that. They almost that was the one that got the Disney Plus treatment the most. If you go and search Cars, there's like hundreds of 2-minute, 3-minute little micro movies.
Right.
I do have this. Hold on.
I'm a big Iron Giant fan.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
It's a perfect movie.
Yeah.
It's like one of the few 10 out of 10s I give.
Yeah, that's a great film. It's like
The soundtrack?
Yeah, very good.
I'm gonna actually rip a couple, so you guys could talk for a few. I'm gonna rip a couple of videos for this that I saw the other day that I thought was fucking hilarious. So just give me a few. It's gonna take.
It'd be cool. So imagine, this is one of those ideas that would have been cool like 20 years ago. Now it'd be like eye rolls and groaning, but like live action sequel to the Iron Giant set in the 30 years later, where Hogarth has grown up and the giant shows up back again, and I don't know, you could do something cool with that. No.
Yeah. Please leave it alone. Please do
leave it alone.
Do not touch it ever.
Yeah, like I said, 20 years ago, that was a novel idea.
Yeah.
Now it's like, stop.
So here's the thing: is it's not. One thing that I was really thinking about with this was, what's the common phrase here whenever there's a new sequel to something? It's like, did we need this? Or, why are they still doing this? And it's not actually new, really. I mean, they've been milking the shit out of franchises forever. I mean, how many, The Land Before Time has like 72 sequels that most people don't even realize about.
Right.
And it's, I actually, that's one of the reasons why I kind of commend this for at least trying to modernize its message a little bit. Whether or not it was a success is up to the individual. I'm very curious where they could possibly even go with a sixth movie. Like, what other message can there be about, we've already had toys out. I was like, the only thing I could think, so it's obviously it's Bonnie is the the one that has to grow up. So when in the third one you had a college bound like 18-year-old Andy, and that was the one that they were all, I was like, and I was thinking, I was like, well, what would like an 18-year-old Bonnie or 19-year-old Bonnie that doesn't want to play with her toys, like,
yikes.
Yeah, you know where I'm going.
One of my, like, a huge fear is like having, an attractive daughter as a man. It's like, God, it's like so many headaches. God forbid little Bonnie grows up to be, a cute cheerleader or something. As her father, you just gotta blank out all the stuff.
Here's the thing: is can you imagine like her newest toy is just like a vibrator? And this is like they're like, hey, what are you? And they're like, I'm made by fucking. I don't know.
I'm just picturing like all the toys watching her and her girlfriends like go up into her room and smoke pot and talk about dick. Like, Jesus.
Talk about dick.
That's what girls do, man. It's fucking awful.
Talk about dick. Yeah, fucking Buzz Lightyear could come back to life. He's been like stored in the closet for the last 10 years, and he like hops up on the dresser and finds.
Speaking of girls, Ms. Sparkles took up the open invitation.
Nice.
How are you?
There is a lot of poop toys, so it's mainly targeted toward girls, is what I wanted to say.
Weird.
And then
That's actually really strange.
I don't understand it. And also, did you know at the end of Toy Story 2 when they like show all the little characters that they cut out one part with the cowboy, I mean the old man, and he had two Barbies. They cut that
Oh
out
God.
Oh,
because he was like holding the Barbies and he was like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they cut it out because it was
What?
inappropriate.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah. To be fair,
'Cause
well,
he was like, I forgot he said something too that's inappropriate. I don't remember what it was though, but he said something that's very appropriate. Yeah.
I think that's another reason why I like Toy Story 2 is it's about like that collector's market, toys that don't get played with and stuff,
Mhm.
I see some of these YouTubers with their big backdrops of all these expensive fucking toys that nobody's allowed to touch. It's just so funny. Um,
I know the next sequel you could do. Like they're on a vacation or something, and then Woody and the gang get washed up on shore. That maybe there's some kind of disaster. They get knocked off the boat, and they end up on Epstein's island. And then the
God.
kids,
I just want to
the kid-
highlight emo nerd girl. I don't think I've ever seen you in the chat. I always try to highlight new faces. So.
Nice.
I gotta say, I liked, the beginning of Toy Story 5. It's like a shipment, a big cargo freighter. What are they called?
You had it right. It's a cargo. It's a
Big tank
cargo,
full of fucking Buzz Lightyear's toys, washed up on an island, and like just the idea of like an army of these little Buzz Lightyears running around. It's just like, man, that itself could have been like its own like standalone movie. Like don't necessarily need to, bring in Woody and Jesse and the gang. And that is another criticism is the fact that OG Buzz and especially Woody, they feel like cameos in this movie,
Buzz, I think because of the fact that they had 95 of them, it didn't feel quite as bad.
Right. Yeah.
But Woody was definitely, it was very obvious that they downplayed him.
Tom Hanks is talking about how he should just have AI do his voice in the next movies. And his brother is probably like, what the hell, man? I do the voices for all the toys and the games and stuff because I sound just like you. Why would you try to dry up my career opportunities here?
I've never actually heard. Is his brother is the one who does? I never realized that.
Yes. Jim Hanks, is that his name? He does the voice of he does not just for Toy Story, but he is known to do like overdubbing and stuff for his brother because they look like they're brothers. They don't look like identical or anything, but they have the same nose and stuff. But he talks just like him. They have the same voice. Tom Hanks is a very distinctive like scream, like his yell.
Yeah.
Very distinct. It's
I didn't
weird.
realize. I probably just assumed all this time that it was Tom Hanks doing the voicing. Didn't really think
No,
about
his
it.
brother does like most of the, especially for Woody, like all the games and toys and cartoon spin-offs and shit, advertisements.
I know his son's wild though.
His son.
Sparkles, if you want to add your profile picture, just click the little gear it's right below.
I know how to do it. I just don't have anything downloaded on my computer, so I have to.
Okay, yeah, take your time. No big deal.
Somebody was complaining about me showing my face.
I mean, it's fine. I honestly, the only reason why I started doing the, avatars was mostly because I'm doing so much while this show is going on in terms of like looking around, looking at different things, loading up stuff that it just looks
Also,
weird.
it's fun with the themes.
Yeah,
last time I was here, we were doing He-Man.
I have so many of these avatars that I want to use that it was. I mean, technically, if you really want to, you can be on camera. I don't really care, but it's just like if you're the only person, sometimes
I have to
it
get my
looks
phone
weird.
plugged
Throws
in.
off the
It's gonna
flow.
look
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the new Shrek
Yeah,
film?
it's my boobs. My boobs are distracting. We already
The
know
new Shrek movie, like I understand people are like really upset about like the redesigns. I see little minute differences here. It's like as a Godzilla fan, every time we see Godzilla, he looks different. So you just kind of get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really gripe. You're like, oh, I like this design better than the last one or worse than this one. I mean, yeah. So people are like obsessing too much about like, I mean, the only things we know really is like what we see in these trailers and these promo ads. Of course, like we watched the trailer on Sunday, and I was joking like, how long until the Smash Mouth song comes on? And then I realized like that stupid like orchestral music they're playing is the Smash Mouth song, like,
Oh yeah.
you know, slowed down
Oh,
and
what?
remixed. It's just like, God damn it.
Did they start the trailer with a single piano key?
I don't remember. But for me, it's
Well,
the
then
Kodo
is it
drums.
even
It's the
really
big,
a trailer then?
because the single piano key is a big trope. But for me, the one that really bugs me is the big, whatever song it is, chun 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 chun, chun like Kodo drums. You know, just big Japanese drums like over everything. It's like, stop that.
Yeah, I didn't actually
Um,
even watch the trailer for Shrek.
Five.
What is it? 5 at this point? I don't know. It's I guess because the Puss in Boots movies are their own thing.
I barely remember Shrek 2. You know, I don't
I
don't
remember.
know.
Shrek 2 is really good.
Yeah,
My
I
son
mean,
was-
they're
Shrek 2
both.
was solid because that's the one with the fairy godmother. That one's fun.
Stuffed animals are scary. I have one of the babies. They're creepy as
You know-
hell.
Well, back to Toy Story, like, you know, the You Got a Friend in Me song should be the all-star for the Toy Story series, but instead, like, we focus on, like, the really sad Sarah McLachlan, When She Loved Me song, When Somebody Loved Me. Jesus,
I feel like
that
Sarah
song is-
McLachlan automatically, no matter what she's singing, it just depresses the fuck out of
Yeah.
you.
When somebody loved me, everything was beautiful. Then she stopped, and then my life sucked balls. It's like the whole
Yeah.
song is just like, God. All
There
right.
was actually a decent payoff for that story. I just think it came so far away from
Dude,
the.
honestly, yes. I did think that the ending, it just kind of it comes out of nowhere where all of a sudden this really poignant, like, little detail comes up and you're like, oh, that's cute. And I remember people talking shit about it. Someone was like, it makes no freaking sense. Like, why would she name her daughter that when she abandoned her? She forgot all about her. And it's like, well, obviously that suggests otherwise, right? I don't know.
Oh yeah, the well, it's mostly a me thing when it comes to the me looking all over and stuff. It's just I mean, I'll show my face if you really want, but it's just one of those things. I don't like to see myself looking around, so it bothers
Well,
me.
That is part of the reason. That is part of the reason why I wear the sunglasses, because you can't see my eyes going here and here and here and here and here,
Yeah.
all, like the whole stream.
Also, this room right now is in
Don't say he's wearing
transition.
mirrors on his
I'm gonna be
eyes.
painting it soon, so I'm like slowly ripping down my soundproofing and gonna have to like put it back. Like I'm gonna paint it bit, but so it looks like garbage. I have to like really just clean a bunch of shit up. But that being said, yeah, I mean, I didn't hate this movie. I understand people who are like, can we move on from it?
I
I
want
didn't particularly care for it, but I didn't. Yeah, I thought it was all right.
It was.
Like I said,
it was
better than the last one.
serviceable.
Better than the last one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The fourth one is probably the weakest in all out of all.
Oh,
I mean,
it's
definitely.
definitely.
Actually, I'm going to change that. It's definitely the weakest.
It's fine, like on a storytelling standard. It still is a Pixar movie. The problem with 4 is the messaging. The messaging was 5. It's like I can get totally behind the messaging in 5.
I don't even really
Kids
remember
should-
the messaging in 4. To be
Toy
honest with
Story, yeah, like Betty Peep is Bo Peep is a action star. She's basically front and center, and Woody abandons his buddies so he can go on his own self-fulfilling, adventure, and it's just that very self-servicing kind of messaging.
Yeah, and one thing about Bo Peep I've never been able to figure out. There's a lot of things about that you stretch your, you suspend your disbelief for, but she's quite literally made of glass.
Right, she's like a lamp.
She's a lamp. How the fuck does she move?
If you watch the first 3 movies, like, she's rigid and has difficulty walking, and that's why she gets left behind on missions. But in the 4th one, her skirt is no longer this big, rigid, like, bulb. It is now like a flowing dress, and she dances and jumps around, and it's just strange,
So I actually still have kind of a problem with this. The new that was blown out of proportion for the new Lilo and Stitch movie. that the whole thing where it was like, oh, pawn your kid off on the state. That was very much blown out of proportion. I saw the movie. She doesn't want to do it. I think it was shitty. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it was a good movie. But that particular thing that everyone was upset about was not.
Well, people always take like the one thing. I mean, the Supergirl movie I don't think is going to be particularly good, but people are really like going DEFCON 5 on anything she says. Do people like, why do we give a shit what actors say on red carpets? Like, I don't, like, as if like, I'm going to watch a movie and then one of the actors says something stupid on the red carpet for some other movie. Like, that doesn't affect my wanting to watch a movie. I don't really.
Here's the big
Here's
problem
the
with
thing
it.
about it.
Go ahead.
Well, Millie Alcock isn't drunk, so I mean that is obvious that she's inebriated whenever she's talking.
She's Australian. They're not called drunks. They're just called normal there.
She also, I mean, like I said, I go back and forth. Is she cute or is she not? She does.
She has an
She does
underbite,
look like
sure.
she does look like she eats rocks. Like her teeth are very jagged. That's like the new thing we're noticing. Her teeth are jagged and misshapen. She needs some Da Vinci veneers, like all the other actors are getting.
I think so. Here's the issue with a lot of these red carpet things: is they're setups, and that's the worst part about it. Is that they are.
Yeah.
It's always, oh, look in the background. There's this pride thing, and we're gonna ask you about. It's very.
They always and they always have to say the best thing. They can't say, "Oh no, Supergirl's totally hetero. She would never fuck a woman." She can't say something like that.
So I think the best, as much as I hate him now, I think the best answer I ever saw to one of those questions was actually from Mark Hamill when somebody asked him if Luke Skywalker was gay. He's like, "Well, do you want him to be? Sure." Like, he was just like, if you want him to be gay, it's fine. You could have that could be in your mind. And that was before he like completely went insane.
I would just love to see like a person push back. I mean, it wouldn't happen, but I mean, it would be bad for their career. It would like internet chuds would love it. Internet chuds would love it if somebody said, so what do you think about Supergirl being a gay icon? And just be like, next, do you have a question relative to like the movie and isn't like some weird, like how convenient that it's always the guy that talks like this and has pink socks that asks the questions about queerness. Is that all you think about? Is there anything else you want to know?
The problem is that it's a front and center thing. It's always in their
Well,
mind.
that's
It's their identity.
the company he works for, though. The guy who asks those questions he works for.
Yeah, I'm from Queer Magazine, asking queer questions to all the actors that might be queer. I was like, I'm not gay, so please move on.
But yeah, it's always a setup. It's always clearly staged, and there's certain actors who do navigate it well, but they're few and far between. And I think really, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't think many actors actually give too much of a shit about real world problems and real world people. I think that they're just saying what a publicist told them to say. Because they don't actually have a real personality. They are professional liars, professional make-believers, and I don't think they give too much of a shit most of the time. It's like, did the check clear?
Yeah. Something that got blown out of proportion with Supergirl, I remember everyone was talking about the Christian Dad thing. I'm upsetting the right people if their name's Christian Dad. But her thing was she was saying she's getting all these like vile hate comments. And then they would have this ironic, like, happy name, like Christian Dad. And that is the problem. That's why these people suck.
Well, that's kind of plays into what I was saying, is that they're set up for these clickbait titles and clickbait.
Yeah, and nobody reads the article. They always get upset about the soundbite.
Yeah, the soundbite. It's not really, you don't listen. People don't listen to we're in the Spark Notes era of everything, where no one wants to read the article. No one wants to actually listen to the whole speech. No one wants to hear the entire song. They just want the bit that makes them mad, or makes the people they want to get mad.
Yep.
And it makes it difficult to have objective discussions about things, right? Because most people are completely uninformed about the topic they're talking about.
Well, yeah,
and
I think that you guys are exactly like that. They come up with some crazy ass stuff with the movies.
The problem, I don't really, like I said, I mean, I thought Superman was like a C-. I hate the Cavill shit, so it's better than that. I'm not really excited about Supergirl. I don't think it's going to be particularly good. It might be terrible. I'm probably going to watch it this week just to watch it. You know.
I think the best that you can hope for at this point is that it's so bad it's good kind of shit. Like
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
hilarious by proxy.
I don't really care about the superhero shit. The problem I have is like, you know, the movie's doing bad or it's reported to do bad or I'm reviewing that it's bad and the person saying this has like this like giddy like light in their eyes. It's losing money. Yeah, it's like it's just cringe, dude. You're talking about a movie for children. You know, I mean, you're talking about a kids movie, you know, Toy Story 5 or
Well, Toy Story
you know,
5 is not losing money. This thing's
it's
making
always
more
yeah, but
cash.
the point is it's always some they never want to talk about like OG movies, you know, like that are just made for adults, you know. I keep recommending these movie positions to everybody. No one wants to watch it. Everyone likes Obsession and Backrooms. That's cool.
I
was
like
very
Backroom.
I was very disappointed. I saw Leviticus last night. I was hoping I could get surprised. Maybe they'll make a good woke movie. But it's the premise was cool. It sounded like It Follows meets Boy Erased. It was like gay conversion therapy horror movie. And I was like, wow, this looks interesting. The scariest part of the movie is these two dudes are just constantly making out, giving each other hand jobs. And it's just not, it wasn't good. The movie sucked. It wasn't scary. And the character was retarded. And the monster, it was basically It Follows. It was, you know, it was too much like It Follows. So yeah, don't recommend that movie. It sucked. Moving on.
I will say this. I agree with this statement 100% that there is. I don't like to say fatigue, but there definitely ever since Endgame,
superhero shit.
Superhero stuff has had this huge. And here's the thing: is it doesn't need to go away. You know, like even no matter what, when a genre like goes away, it doesn't really go away. It just fades from the zeitgeist a little bit, but like they never stopped making Western movies. They never stopped making detective movies. They never like whatever war films. They just don't become the main thing that people are talking about at the time. Problem is I really think that the studios just got so enamored with the amount of money that they were making on superhero movies.
It's a drug.
Yeah, it was exactly.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with these YouTubers getting a bunch of money by spouting like negative criticism of things. You know,
and they've gone so far. Like that cup, the cup with the
World Cup, the soccer tournament.
Oh,
what about it?
Oh yeah, the Supergirl foreskin cup that isn't real. Yeah, obviously, it isn't real. Yeah. Everyone was sharing the foreskin cup everywhere, and it's like anybody with half a brain would look at that for half a second and be like, there's no fucking way this is being sold. And of course it isn't. And everybody shared that shit like, like I said, with giddy light in their eyes. Look how terrible it is. I mean, that cup is so retarded. It's like, there's no way that's real. And of course you look at it, and it's like, why am I even looking this up?
Is convinced that James Gunn is behind it. He knows exactly what he's doing with the cup. I'm like, okay.
Well, no, I mean, go ahead.
What? I was going to say this particular statement here. It's not. I want to say something that's pseudo related to it. One of the major issues that I think specifically the superhero genre has run into is that it got corporatized, right? So a lot of if you think about it, and I know this is not breaking any new ground. What I'm saying, I'll read the statement here. There's a girl kicking the bejesus out of men while telling them that they have to check their privileges. In real life, maybe, but in films, that's supposed to be escapism from reality. Nope. And that was from Dead Gamer 13. Well, but what I wanted to say is kind of pseudo related to that. It's very clear that the people who are getting behind these projects either have a active disdain or complete lack of knowledge about source materials. There was a statement from Millie Alcock where she completely misinterpreted something that has been said in comics. And that was that Supergirl is stronger than Superman. That is not
right.
Yeah. So the real thing about that, and I don't remember the exact storyline, because I don't really follow Supergirl. She's a tertiary character to me. She shows up for storylines, and that's about it. I think I own maybe one graphic novel that's Supergirl based, and it was Peter David run. But the thing is that she hits harder, not because she's stronger, but because she doesn't hold back as much. Superman has more empathy, empathy for people and stuff. So he holds back. But if Superman went up and punched Supergirl in the face, she would disintegrate. He's so much insanely stronger than her. It's not even funny.
I don't know why we expect these actors.
But she misinterpreted a thing that was true. Now, if she would have said that, it would have made her look fucking awesome. Like if she would have actually did the research and said
she don't know,
but she doesn't know, and that's because
it's like how your girlfriend or wife only has like passive knowledge in this nerd shit from what you've told her, you know?
Yeah, but here's the thing: is she whether or not it's a fan's, girlfriend, wife, significant other, whatever, that's fine that they don't have a lot of knowledge. But if you're playing the character, you should. And if you're going to make statements like that, you should.
Some actors, like for instance, if you're going to play a character in a movie that was already made, a remake, some actors say, do not watch the original. Do not watch the original because you'll just end up doing an impression of what came before, And as far as like the source material for like a comic book, it's like it really doesn't matter. All I got to focus on is what's in the script. A lot of actors, feel that way, and that's not necessarily a wrong opinion because you want to put your actors are narcissists. They want to be remembered. They want to be putting their spin on this. They don't want to be. A lot of actors don't want to become a character. They want to be them as a character. Millie Alcock seems like one of those chicks. And the thing is, like, same thing with Rachel Zegler and all these other actresses. Dumb 20-something-year-old drunk chick at a red carpet said something stupid. I'm not surprised. Like, it's like we really have to stop blowing that out of proportion and making it seem like that's crazy news. Dumb girl says dumb shit tonight at 9.
I also really want to know who the fuck is this. So obviously, there's not just acting coaches for vocals and stuff. There's physical acting coaches, right? Who is telling all of these actresses that they need to do this? I think Melly Alcock already has an underbite, but she's clearly overemphasizing it. But why do all of these actresses keep doing this underbite face?
I think they're on ecstasy or MDMA or something. They're rolling their tits off at the premiere. Could you imagine being on drugs and you're all like on glitz? You're wearing like a nice ballroom dress, you're feeling good. You have a few glasses of champagne, and then you're gonna sit into a dark theater and watch yourself like on a giant 100-foot screen. This is like a narcissist wet dream. Probably like literally climaxing in their seat, like watching themselves like high on ecstasy.
I can only imagine that's like those moments.
Allegedly,
are when you when the drugs hit are like right on the red carpet. It's
that's Trey Parker's face
where something hits and all of a sudden for me it's been documented a few times when I was in an open bar. People were like, there the tequila just hit, and you can see me go like, yeah, fuck. It's like, hey, I'm in front of like 10,000 people drunk. This is interesting. But I can imagine that it's even like you take that what I just said on like a fucking level that you can't even imagine. And there is definitely I do think that you're 100% right about the narcissism. You can't be an actor without having a degree of narcissism.
I think you had a point earlier that I don't agree that the actors need to have knowledge of what the role is to do their job. Like, they're just there to act, and if they don't know anything about the source material, that's fine as long as they
that's
get the
fine,
scene right.
But
I think if you're gonna make points about the character and try to like be smart about it, then you should definitely do research before doing. That's just a general logic
I think that
thing.
people need more PR training. I think that's the issue, that these girls
or less PR training. I think that might actually. I think it might be that they're over PR trained in a specific direction.
I don't know.
They're not making.
She didn't know what she was going to even say. So when she said it, so I don't know.
I mean,
being too hard on her.
The problem is, like, everything is 50-50. Everything's divisive. I say one thing, you're going to piss off half the country. That's how it works now. So, like, you would have to go out of your way to come up with questions and answers for these red carpets and interviews is like that would, everyone could get behind, and that sounds hard. So,
this
That
is
guy who
they
asks
want the
the
actors to
questions
pretend
about
to
her
be
being
fans.
gay. Well, the guy who asks the questions that always like set people off with the gay, he purposely does that. He's known to purposely do that.
Yeah,
So.
he's a rage baiter. That's what he is. That's how he gets his money because
they're going to be asking actors at the premiere, what do you think of Trump's algae reflective pool? It's like, Jesus Christ. Who
He's
cares?
asked some pretty wild questions, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, no shit. I hope that this is a joke. Gamers like obviously he didn't know about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, like I said, like when you're doing adaptations, some people like to think less research is better. Other actors don't. There's some people. It's like, well, I played a superhero comic character for like 5 scenes, so I read every issue he appeared in.
No,
every comic book.
I think that there's a it's okay if you just want to be strictly within what the director is telling you to do, and you don't want to come in with your own preconceived notions. That's fine. I understand that, but if you're going to try to sound smart, just like Jenoff was saying, you're going to try to sound smart about your character and knowledgeable and come off like a fan.
Yeah,
it helps to know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, fans are ever going to be happy, though. That like the Punisher character, he did study one series of the Punisher, but not everyone's going to be happy. You'd have to study every one. It doesn't. It's just a lot. I think everyone's being hard on her. I mean, you'd have to study every one of them.
Like I said, the movie doesn't look good, and it is stupid. I think it's not just superhero fatigue. It's just fantastical action epic fatigue. Like the He-Man movie. Also nostalgia. This addiction to nostalgia. Everything's got to be based on some pre-existing intellectual IP. Like we're just IP mining. We're hitting like cultural bedrock. Of what we're trying to remake and readapt, and it's just everyone's over it. But
the Supergirl thing, it doesn't look very new either. Like it just looks like Guardians of the Galaxy again. Like it actually the trailer genuinely looked like a Guardians of the Galaxy film. I did not. If you took her out of it, it just would look like the background of number 3 or whatever.
Yeah, it's.
They need a new fresh take on it. They can't be coming out with just yet another Guardians film.
Well, it's like I think right now some of the best comic property that's been out recently is Spider Noir. And
I still need to see that. Is it good?
I didn't finish it yet. I still have like 1 or 2 episodes left. Only because when I start to enjoy something, I don't want to watch it when I don't. Oh, see you later, Sparkles. I don't want to watch it under duress. Like I don't want to watch it because I need to. I want to watch it when I have time to actually enjoy it. So I've been stuck with like 2 episodes left for a little while, but it definitely is of interesting take. I never read the Spider Noir comics. Actually, that was one thing that I kind of skipped out on because there's so much Spider-Man. Like there's just so many versions and so much that it actually, unless you're really, really into Spider-Man, you probably miss a bunch of it. And Spider-Man was never my favorite character. I like him. I've always been a person who kind of roots for the underdog in terms of characters. I always like these kind of secondary characters best. So like I would read Spider-Man, and Noir just fell through. But I'm really enjoying it to the point where I was like looking up the books. I'm like, I actually want to see all this stuff now. And if you haven't watched it yet, I suggest it.
Yeah, I played the Shattered Dimensions game. I think that was the first time like Spider-Man Noir really debuted in anything, and that was like immediately interesting. So I really hope that they continue to do that kind of gritty.
Spider Noir is definitely the most avant-garde Spider-Man thing we've ever had, but I have a problem with it because it's like it was pretty good. But the same dudes that cry about girl bosses all the fucking time about everything, they give this show a pass. Like this show is literally like the white dudes are all evil except for Spider-Man, who is a washed up alcoholic failure. And he's old. And then every woman of color is like bigger and better than everybody. There's like a big scary black guy who's a bad guy. He turns out to be a good guy. There's like a woman who's like, there's like an evil scientist who's doing experiments on everyone. Turns out she's a woman. And I was like, well, I bet you she's not actually evil. And she isn't. It's like this show was, doing that stuff that a lot of the anti-woke people like cry about a lot. It was guilty of a lot of those sins, and I don't understand why that show got a pass from all these dudes who cry about their shit nonstop. It's okay.
I want to address Aemond. I think let me ask you to clarify, which comics are better than what movie?
Supergirl, probably. I bet you the Helen Slater movie is going to be better than this new one. I love the stupid Helen Slater movie because Helen Slater is so fine. And like, bring back the damn Lycra costumes, please. Just a simple Lycra spandex jumpsuit. It looks so much better than this crap with all the tech paneling and the stupid rigid design.
Honestly, that mostly came from was the post 2010s like New 52 era styling that a lot of the illustrators are doing, and they're pulling from that.
But also,
ironically enough, one of your favorites is one of the people who really pushed that. Ethan Van Sciver did a lot of that stuff.
I know, and I can't stand that. And then, but I love like Alex Ross. Like whenever he draws these characters, like he draws them in the spandex. He draws them in the spandex, and he makes it look cool.
But Alex Ross is like one of one. Like
I know, of course. Of course. He's the fucking Michelangelo of comic books. You can't. Yeah, he can't.
Let me just acknowledge Anna Nielsen. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with bigger women. I'm all down for more cushion for the pushing. But yeah, Alex Ross. Have you ever read Astro City? If you like Alex Ross, holy shit! Like Astro City is your thing, man. He helped design every single character in that series.
I remember I was showing the rejected X-Men movie costumes he designed. They were sick. And also, I was saying this is probably why I think that Tom Holland, like the Spider-Man costume, looks the best because it is the closest to just plain spandex,
Yeah. But just to even though she didn't say anything yet, but if it was this, there's not many great Supergirl comics. The Peter David run is fantastic. But I'm such a like Peter David fanboy. It's not even funny. He wrote the best Incredible Hulk run of all time, and it's 5 omnibuses worth, and it's every issue is fucking awesome. You will read them like you will go through an omnibus like it was a regular trade paperback. He did such great work. I was so happy I got to meet him because he was very sick. Obviously, he ended up having a stroke and then he passed away. I got to meet him a few years before that happened. I was like, because I've met great creators. I met Stan Lee. And a lot of them by the time I met them were kind of, they didn't have their faculties. So at least I got to have a conversation with Peter David about his approach to the character and stuff, which was fucking awesome. Him and then there's there's a couple of other creators I've met over the years where I was like, I wish I didn't meet that guy. Turned out he was a douche. But Peter David was awesome. What was that?
Like who?
Ron Mars. Ron Mars. I've told the story on the show before. I will tell it again. Ron Mars was my favorite writer growing up. He was the Green Lantern writer for most of the 90s. I took a writing course with him. I have hundreds of comics signed by him, and then it turned out he was an asshole. I had him scheduled for a interview for my channel, and he no-showed, and then basically I think he was drunk, and he basically told me that I was he said I think he was trying to say I was snippy, but he said I was sniping him, and it turned into a whole fiasco, but it sucked because I grew up reading almost everything he did, and because he was also Silver Surfer, which is a character I love. He wrote a lot of Silver Surfer stuff.
God.
If you like Emo Nerd Girl, if you like Catwoman comics, I already mentioned him earlier, but Ed Brubaker run of Catwoman is fantastic.
Remember Adaptation with Nicolas Cage, and then he goes to the writing seminar, which he's vehemently against, and he goes to that writing seminar hosted by Brian Cox, and he's doing that spiel. Nothing ever happens. Jesus Christ, what the hell do you mean? Nothing ever happens.
Oh yeah, it's a great scene.
Oh my God. Movies for grown-ups, folks. Start watching them. They're good. I showed a bunch of people Paris, Texas the other day, finally, because I've always raved that movie's so good. And yeah, like, Black Lives and a few other dudes in the chat were like, I'm like,
Black Lives
right
over
now.
or Black Knives over Black Lives or whatever it is.
Right,
I haven't seen him
right.
in my chat in a while. I always loved that name though.
He keeps changing it to various variations.
Maybe,
but anyway, it was like
I have seen him. Wrong one.
Yeah, it was like 10 or so people, and I got them all to watch Paris, Texas, and that movie's so good because it just gut punches you in the end, and everybody's like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, Enzo? Why would you show us this?" I loved it.
The Superman Batman Apocalypse movie, that was a direct sequel to Public Enemies movie.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those are really fun, and that was still when Kevin Conroy was around, so you have that version of Batman.
Yeah, see, I was saying what DC should have done. They wanted to do what Marvel did. They're still trying to do what Marvel did. They should do the opposite.
They're trying to do a method that is already failing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They should have done the opposite, which is just what George Miller was supposed to do it. But just do a Justice League movie. Just start with a Justice League movie. And the thing is, I've been saying this for a while, like, no more continuity with the movies. We don't care. Shin Godzilla was great. Then the next one that came after that, totally different. And I'm kind of upset that the next one's going to be -1 part 2. I would be much happier if the third one was, again, totally different. The next Superman movie, new setting, new costume, new actor. Who gives a shit? New director.
Well,
it doesn't matter. We don't need continuity with these superhero movies.
Jay Jameson's right. They did basically do that. But the problem was there was a lot of problems with that Justice League movie. It had nothing to do with the fact that they started with a Justice League movie.
Right.
I think I actually was pretty disappointed when I found out DC was like going with a big continuity. Like, we're gonna do a big cinematic universe. Everything's connected. The video games, the shows, the animated stuff. It's all in one universe. And it's like, well, you have a lot of opportunities here to do something what Marvel didn't do, which is, you could do like, one movie of Batman that's, you could do the Matt Reeves Batman, and then the next one could be the next movie you come out with could be the what's it? The Superman lands in Russia instead of America.
Oh, Red Sun.
Yeah, Red Sun.
Yeah.
You could do a Red Sun fucking version, and like you just do 100 Batman movies, but do a different one every time. Just like
Right.
I don't know. And then you have like not everyone's gonna do well, but then you don't have to bank on the fact that you're like relying on the previous films as much.
So
Also, as a viewer, people hate homework. Damn it.
Yes.
It'd be great if it's like, hey, if you watch the last Superman movie, it doesn't matter. Enjoy this new Superman movie. It has nothing to do with it. But if you did see it, you'll like it. It won't hurt. It won't hurt you if you saw the previous one, but it isn't essential.
Yeah.
People do not like obligations. Like, oh, if you want to see this, you got to see the other one.
Well, they did for a little
I'll pass.
while. That's the problem. For a little while, they did, and then it became the norm. That was the new norm of movies for a little while, and they unfortunately, a lot of people showed up to the party late, and it was, it's the same thing. They say it in sports all the time. When a team wins a championship, it's like everybody tries to copy their method, right? It's the same thing here. Marvel won the championship of pretty much the entire decade of the 2010s, and everyone was trying to play catch up, and not just comic books. It was, you had that dark universe they were trying to do, the Monsterverse. All of them were trying to do. Ironically enough, the Monsterverse is the second most successful one of those.
What's funny is,
really?
yeah, I mean,
well, yeah, it has all the movies are relatively successful, and their continuity is not broken beyond belief. So it is the second most successful connected universe.
but it's kind of like, The Matrix was so good, it ruined movies for a while because everybody had to have sunglasses and techno music and trench coats and kung fu fighting and bullet time. Same thing with Traffic and Saving Private Ryan. Those movies had such a great look, cinematically, like cinematography wise, that so many movies in the early 2000s copied like that look from those two movies. It's the same thing with the MCU. Batman Begins is another great example. Batman Begins, Dark Knight was so good that it kind of made superhero movies like we're gonna make everything dark and gritty and hyper realistic. It only works with Batman and Punisher and some other characters.
Well,
Doesn't work with Superman.
Just hold that thought because I just want to point this out before we move on. Just hold that one thought though. The homework, yeah, it being pointless when they don't follow the events, but also it became too much homework. I think people are okay with a little homework. I don't think they're necessarily like anti. When all you had to do was go see the next movie in theaters, that was fine. Really,
but you're telling me I need to watch like 2 whole shows of shit on some streaming platform I don't have?
Yeah,
kiss my ass.
That was where the problem arose.
It's basically just up to Endgame, and then the Spider-Man movie that came out after Endgame. Like that's basically where the MCU. Basically, I lose interest right after that.
Yeah. Back to what you were saying.
I mean, I was basically done saying what I was saying about Batman Begins and all these hyper-realistic movies. So good that they make subsequent movies kind of shitty because they all try to copycat it. You know.
It was funny. That was the flip point because before that, a lot of the attempts for Marvel were gritty. Like if you think about like their first take on Daredevil, the Daredevil movie. Blade had obviously it's vampires, so they had to be in the darkness. But a lot of the earlier Marvel movies had some dark tones to it, and then the DC properties were always kind of campy. And then it was at The Dark Knight was where that flipped. You look at 2008, The Dark Knight and Iron Man's releases so close to each other. It flipped the script completely, and DC went they were just like darker. Let's remove the colors, crush the blacks in every scene. Just do it, just crush it. And,
I think DC, should be more like I don't want to say serious, but like the way I think of it is like Marvel is normal people with superpowers, right? And they have flaws and character traits, but DC is like they're like demigods,
They're paragons. They're paragons.
Yeah, they're way more like larger than life characters.
But it's not all of. That's the funny part is it's not all of them. Right. There is a lot of characters in DC that are not like that. But the big because there's the big 3 really are Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Then if you expand it out a little bit, you have Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman. They still kind of have that. It's not until you get to like the tier 3 characters that you start hitting those more grounded, realistic feeling people. But the villains though, DC's villains tend to be much more, like Marvel almost has and it showed up in their movies almost immediately. Marvel has a very
for forgettable villains.
Yeah, forgettable. It's like villain of the week kind of problem. A lot of times, even in their comics, there's a few here and there that don't have that. But and obviously everybody has their nemesis. There's Red Skull and Green Goblin and stuff. But they do have a lot of disposable villains, whereas DC hammers them out a lot better. Almost every one of Batman's villains is easily recurring.
I mean, sorry not to interrupt you, but isn't that the kind of same thing with Marvel, where it's like Spider-Man essentially has all the best villains, and then Batman has all the best villains, and then everyone else, like you said, has a nemesis. It's like, it's just like
the thing is, there's a lot of, and they do it in Marvel as well. But I think DC also has a tendency to share villains across a little bit more.
Okay.
Whereas, for instance, I'm trying to think like Cyborg Superman's a great example. Like he's both a huge villain for Superman and also for the Green Lanterns. So it's like they do share across several. Whereas the Spider-Man villains for the most part are confined to him until like they have a big event. Until there's like dark Avengers and stuff. It's like
I don't
you don't see Rhino show up in a lot of shit.
No, not as minor villains, no. Yeah. But like I feel like Carnage gets put across quite a few different comic books.
That's because they started doing they started doing that symbiote stuff where everything was a symbiote. So it was like
they did symbiote Godzilla.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, it's wacky. I don't mind it, but you know,
But
yeah, you might as
Marvel
well just go
villains
off the
also
rails.
Yeah, Marvel villains also have a tendency to just kind of be they recycle a lot of concepts within them. There's a lot of like the same villain, just again with a different version more.
Yeah.
Like there's been like 19 people who have the Venom symbiote, and they're
Yeah.
all different versions. Like whereas
Yeah.
it's a little bit less common in DC with
Okay.
that. But that's just that's also it's been blended too much at this one. Now it's like because they've reset continuity so many times and shit. Honestly, I'm almost at the point now where I barely even read anything from the big two, and
Yeah,
I
exactly.
always
The comics do it, so why shouldn't the movies do it?
Yeah.
It's easier to make. You can get more artistic. You can get more variation and more expression. You can do. I want to see when I see Superman. Like Superman should be when he walks into a room. It should be a mix. It should be a cross between Jesus Christ and Elvis Presley. Like that is the vibe Superman should give off, and I don't think they've done it right yet since the Christopher Reeves movies. You know who was a great example? Metro Man from Megamind. That is exactly the vibe I'm going for here. Maybe a little less funny.
That's one thing that's why a lot of all DC Elseworlds versions of Superman work so well, because his upbringing is so tethered to what he is. It seems like a lot of times when they try to do Elseworlds Batman, he just ends up exactly the same always.
Yeah.
Just like doesn't matter if he's poor or from a different country. He just ends up being the same character. Whereas like Superman fundamentally changes from his inception, basically.
Right. I think like it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's now really been played out, but like I like Superman more as a villain, and I can see why so many different franchises have used him as essentially a villain. Like you got Invincible, and you also have Homelander is a really good example. I think he works a lot better as a villain, in my opinion. I'm not a huge Superman guy. I'm probably going to get yelled at.
Yeah, Superman's my favorite because he's difficult to write, because it's easy to think, well, if I had superpowers, I would just be a dick. Like it's easy to think that. Like you have, as a writer, you have to challenge yourself to put yourself in this superhero's shoes that would always... Superman doesn't do what's always cool or popular, but he'll always do what's right. And it's very, it's difficult to discern that, as a coked out Hollywood screenwriter, So, I mean, Superman, like I said, the best Superman stories are kind of few and far between, but they always... they're thinkers. They make you reflect and think on things. Like Peace on Earth is a great example.
It would
Superman's
be
fighting.
I think this would be a hilarious story. By the way, like you take like they deliver Superman some deportation papers. Like ICE shows up at his house. Like, he's just like, and he has like this moral dilemma. He's like, so he actually has to go and he has to claim asylum from Krypton. It's like, well, Krypton doesn't exist anymore, so I'm claiming asylum. And he does like all the paperwork. He's just like sitting at a government building, just trying to.
Yeah, it's the terminal, but it's Superman locked in a government building for years.
Like, meanwhile, like crime is just elevating everywhere.
Superman can bust out at any time he wants, but because he's such a good boy, law-abiding citizen, he's trying to do it the legal way to get out. So I can save people. Give me amnesty.
I mentioned the comic earlier, I think, before you came in, Amelia, because we were talking about Alex Ross. But in Astro City, there's I forget his name because I haven't read it in years now, but there's a Superman like character, and his first issue is actually about how boring his life really is, because he can solve every problem so quickly, and he has it down to like nanoseconds. Like he's sitting there, he's like, okay, so now I'm eating breakfast, and then like 475 miles away, there's someone robbing a bank. That'll take me approximately 12 seconds to fix. And he has it all.
Yeah,
his like day to day, and like he tries to go on a date with like the Wonder Woman of that world, and they both have the same. They can't go on a date because it's every time they're sitting down to eat, something happens and they have to leave.
Yeah, or like on
It's
Red
very
Sun,
much
where
it's the best possible version of a deconstruction of Superman you could have.
yeah, like in Red Sun, when the Russian president, like will try to like, will you please just sit here and talk, like focus for just a few minutes while we try to tell you this stuff. He's like, I can't. People need me. I gotta leave. He has like ADHD for saving people. You know, he's got to constantly go around. But yeah, the thing is, Superman is overpowered. But the thing is, that's why the best Superman story. It's like One Punch Man. The best Superman stories are these moral dilemmas. You know, you got a lot of train and trolley problems here. And yeah, the other thing is, like with Corn Sweat Superman, like Henry Cavill was not a good Superman. I am not happy. I am terrified when Henry Cavill's Superman shows up. If I'm in danger, or if there's a crisis, and the Man of Steel is there, we need to evacuate. All right? There's a very good chance this entire area is going to be leveled. He does not instill feelings of safety and hope, and it's all going to be all right. When Superman's there, like let's say you're on top of, they show that scene in the Man of Steel or whatever, Batman versus Superman, where the people are on top of the roofs because of like a flood, and Superman's flying over them, and they're all like praising him like he's God or whatever. But there should be, like, if you're in trouble and Superman shows up, there should be this. It doesn't matter what's happening. You could be like hanging by one hand off of a cliff over a fiery pit of hell. It doesn't matter if you let go right now. Like, it doesn't matter. Superman is here. Like, I am safe. There will be this feeling of relief washing over you. Like, thank God Superman is here. We're okay. Everything's okay, guys. But we're not technically saved yet. It doesn't matter. We will be. He's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Like, that feeling of, like safetiness, it should be there with, it's there with Christopher Reeve. It isn't there with it's not there quite really with Corn Sweat, but it's definitely not there with Cavill, man. His Superman movies are.
Well, they was a lot darker. I mean, Zack Snyder.
I find them unwatchable, man. I can't even watch them. They're terrible.
They were really going for like the difference is that the difference between the new one and Man of Steel is that Man of Steel is introducing Superman to our world, like the world is today.
Right.
So it's like like we don't have any gods, and then all of a sudden Superman shows up, and the new one he's already established. And then there was also like a lot of deeper, like 9/11 has a huge theme through the first Man of Steel film. Like it's a post 9/11 film. Like it's like more of an American reaction to what the Second Coming would be. And then you have a lot of like 9/11 imagery with Metropolis and everything like that, and how we're treating, aliens and like quote read the analogy. And so yeah, it's a lot more of a dark film, and I can see why people didn't like that version. I think it's kind of interesting to contrast the two, like see what the differences are. I like kind of we were talking about playing around with the idea of different superheroes, different takes and stuff. I think that's just another way you could do it. It's like, well, huge difference between these two Supermans. One's pre-established, one's not established. Like, how would Earth react to both of them? It's a little interesting, but I don't think either film is very good in my opinion. But
no, I mean, I get like Superman. Like I said, I gave it a C-. Like, it's still a passing grade, barely. But like I said,
it's funny because with the a lot of people hated obviously, I wasn't a fan of the Corn Sweat version, mostly because I felt it was tonally off, like start to finish. It couldn't establish a tone that it wanted to be. But the funny part is the opening scene got a lot of shit, and I thought that it was actually a fantastic idea. I just don't think it was well executed. But like right off the bat, the thing we're talking about right now, Superman is overpowered, right? That's one. So it's a hard character to build up, but by starting the opening scene with him literally being pummeled into the ground, it's like now we have a building point from here.
Right? Yeah. See,
and it was a good idea. It's just it was the tone throughout didn't work for it.
Well, people complain that Man of Steel, he was too scary, too powerful, and so they overcorrected with the next one. But yeah, I mean, it's very. Like it's like horseshoe theory, you know. The two movies are on such opposite ends of the spectrum. You know, we need to be somewhere more in the middle for the next Superman movie. I mean, I always think of, you know, like I said, Alex Ross's version of Superman so perfect because he's got this like these Clint Eastwood kind of like stare, and he's not like serious, but he just doesn't joke around, you know. He'll crack a smile here and there, and he'll have this, you know, this kind of, you know, approving father kind of tone to him, you know. But yeah, a lot of these movies just don't get it, you know, they don't get it right. Because again, like I think they're just drawing from the more recent comic books, which is a big problem. New 52 shit.
Yeah.
I hate the Superman
52
collar.
Yeah, New 52 had a lot of problems. The only things that really, and I'll read this super chat in 1 second. The only series that really worked in New 52 for me, and obviously because I'm a fan, but I think, and there's a reason why it works as well, was the Green Lantern continuity. And the reason why was because they didn't actually do a hard reset with Green Lantern. It was the one continuity that got to keep what was going on.
Yeah.
It was, anybody who knows, right before New 52 was the Blackest Night and Brightest Day storylines. And, you know, you had essentially they just continued that story right into New 52. They didn't change a thing. It was such a soft reset, you could barely tell it happened. Every other continuity, though, as Superman, Wonder Woman, everything got hard resets. And that was, you know, in and of itself, that was a Jeff Johns issue. Jeff Johns became the main, like the overall, like show, the equivalency of a showrunner for the comics. He was basically the main writer for everything, and his baby was already Green Lantern, so he didn't want to restart that. Let me just read this before we continue. Dead Gamers 13 for 10 fake monies. Ike to Jink, Henry Cavill's Superman, as going to be teamed up with Christian Bale's Batman, but everyone hated Man of Steel. Yeah, well, I think that was going to happen. Then everyone hated Dark Knight Rises, so Bale thought, that's it, I'm out. I'm pretty certain that's 100% what happened.
But you see how we didn't care when, you know, you have the Batman movies with Christian Bale, and then the next Batman movie is going to be him with Superman. Cool, and it's going to be Ben Affleck, and it's a totally different Batman. It's like, we don't care. It's fine. We can move past it. Our brains can absorb that. There can be two Batmans in two cinematic versions at the same time.
I do just want to say thank you for the super chat, and I also am trying to figure out what the hell this profile picture is. Does anyone know what that is?
It looks like a lightsaber.
It looks like someone committing seppuku with lightsabers. If you could tell me what it is, Diddy, I'm trying to figure it out. I had a couple of other ones here I just want to highlight. Yeah, so when they made that scene, the scene when in Justice League, when they revive Superman and he's able to essentially see the Flash exactly the way, that was stupid, because first of all, that neuters the Flash. Like, what's the point of the Flash if Superman's do the exact same thing?
Than him. Yeah.
So yeah, that was, but yeah, it does. That's kind of one of the reasons why there's a famous panel, and it was from the Flash Rebirth, I believe, where Superman is talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, you know, I won some of those races," and he's like, "Clark, those were for charity." Like, it's so that there's times where you could kind of knock Superman down a peg, but they're few and far between. Ooh, another one from Dead Gamer 13 again. I guess this is a continuation. Same amount of money, same amount of fake monies. Then we thought Affleck was going to be playing an older version of Bale Batman. I think that's supposed to say. And that turns out to not be true and lost all momentum of DC. Yeah, the Bale version almost feels like its own.
It should be standalone
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have a version of Superman where there are no other superheroes. That's cool, but you could easily do another Superman movie where there are other superheroes. It doesn't. Those two things can coexist in media. You know. Batman being hyper realistic, like I said, the problem with The Dark Knight and Batman Begins is like that hyper realistic tone was so fresh at the time,
Yeah.
that all the executives were like, we got to do this for all the superheroes. It's like, no. They always take the wrong lesson, you know? It's like, no, don't do that.
Toller Talks, who I need to get on here one of these days because he's been in the chat many times, and I need to get you on here. $5. Y'all should kick that guy in the top right off. I hear he's not cool, and he smells eyeball. Luckily, we're online, so I can't smell him.
Yeah, I actually showered today. Thank you very much.
He's actually totally cool. He came here. We haven't even gotten to his topic yet. I'm going to give him a chance to talk about his topic in a little bit. He showed up and he saved my butt, so he's cool in my eyes.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Well, Toller should jump on here. What is he doing? Fucking hit that
let's
leg,
bring him on
Toller.
next week. I'll tell you what. Shoot me his info. I'll get him on next week.
Nice.
And or next show. I'm not sure. Next week I might not have one only because I got some stuff going on. But the next show I could get him on. But
yeah. No, you know Lumar as well, right? I have a podcast with him.
Yeah. Lumar. I've crossed over with him a couple of times.
Nice.
He's a cool guy. Dead Gamers 13 again, very active today. Thank you very much. Henry Cavill Superman couldn't copy Christopher Reeve Superman, so they went with the Christopher Nolan style, dark and gritty, and I think it could have worked if they had given it a chance. I don't think that dark and gritty works for Superman.
It could have worked if Superman managed to prevent tens of thousands of people dying or whatever. Oh, but they didn't die because we evacuated the city, and like a line of dialogue. Oh, okay, all right. Well, billions of dollars in damage. You know, there's that scene where, you know, people like the scene where he snaps Zod's neck, and Zod is like, you know, trying to laser beam that family in the corner of the room, and it's like, I gotta hold his head still so he can move his eyes independently of his head. You know, like he can just look at them. Yeah. It's so stupid. Zack Snyder is a moron. I'm sorry. He's a good. He makes good music videos, and he knows how to make shit look cool in slow motion, and that's his strong points. That's about it.
I think people were also really mad though that like Superman killed him. I think that was like
Superman has never had a no kill rule though.
I can see the problem. I can also see the no problem with it. I mean, given the circumstances, I think he kind of deserved it. I mean, even without the family about to be laser-eyed, at a certain point, you got to just put a bad dog down. You know, like
I thought the moral debate was like interesting. I mean, like you're right about the eye thing, but I thought the moral debate was interesting. Like to see Superman in that position where he's got to, you know, choose his morality, his ethics, or someone's life.
It's like that line in True Lies. Have you ever killed anybody? Yeah, but they were all bad. You know, like that's fine.
Yeah. But for it to work for like a darker, you do need to have a moral dilemma, and that wasn't a particularly that. The moral dilemma was I don't want to kill this guy who just showed up and basically tried to enslave Earth. Like,
well, the other problem though with the whole fucking thing was that why not terraform any other planet? Why are they choosing Earth? You could do it to Mars. Like they could live.
It was very much. It almost very much came off like, well, we want it because you have it.
Yeah. Right. Well, all they had to do, man, was fucking say, all right, well, we can't. You know, like we got to do it here because of blah blah. They could say like maybe the atmosphere.
It needs to be exact. This is the exact distance from the star that we need. Or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we can't make a trip outside of this solar system. We're stuck here. You need the atmosphere is perfect for our way of life. Blah blah blah. But he just takes it. Like, it's very clear that he could terraform any planet. He could go to Mars and it would be fine. But he's just choosing to fuck over humanity.
Just like there's no people there that I can fuck over. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, even like I think that they should also taken the route of like what you see in Invincible, where the Viltrumites need to breed with humans because they're genetically similar, and that's how they continue their. I mean, there's only like 5 Kryptonians left, right? Like, there's only like fucking Zod's crew who has like 1 chick, and there's Superman. So like, wouldn't it make sense? He's like, okay, we're gonna terraform this planet, we're gonna take over these people and breed them because we need it. But
in that continuity, obviously in other continuities, there's more Kryptonians that have survived and other offshoots of Kryptonians and stuff. But yeah, I get what you're saying. That in his mind, it should be something a little bit more like that.
It would be
Well-
so easy to explain why he needed Earth, but they just choose to fucking like have the
Well-
dumbest reason.
Yeah, and like the current problem right now, like 20 years ago, is like everything's too dark and hyper realistic. Now, in the post Deadpool Wolverine era, like everything's got to be too cool for school, violent, cursing, R-rated, over the top. Like I watched the Punisher thing. It's like, dude, I can't believe this has like a Disney logo before it. This is insane. Oh, also, I am in the boat where like I saw the footage of the new Wolverine game.
Yeah.
It is a bit too violent. I'm sorry. If I was Jean Grey posing, like, imagine if I was Jean Grey, like, holding someone in a psychic hold, and then Wolverine is, like, stabbing that dude to death, I would be like, yo, I'm not with this. Like, I'm not with him. Like, he's doing his own thing.
You think Punisher is too dark? Like the film?
No.
You're talking about the Punisher
No.
special that came out recently.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's too violent. I like Punisher being violent. It's just weird with the damn Disney Plus logo plastered all over it. And I'm not saying like Punisher shouldn't be dark, but I am saying we are entering this phase where like dark, cynical, just hyper violent and cursing, and obviously I don't mind that stuff, but it just comes off as try hard now, where people are just like, hey kids, I'm fucking riding skateboarding and doing graffiti just like y'all. I don't know. I just like I said, Deadpool Wolverine made a shitload of money.
I've
Well,
never
Deadpool-
been a huge fan of Punisher. I always felt that I don't know. He's a character that almost doesn't. He's the reverse of Batman, where it's like I want to kill everybody for the sake of killing them. It's like,
Yeah, bro. It's fun.
what is it? Mike Barron had a pretty good run for a while, but a lot of times it's just.
My big problem with the new Punisher is he's a psychopath with like extreme PTSD. I don't really like that. He's literally like clinically insane. Like he has hallucinations and shit and extreme mood swings. And I hate the John Barenthal like scream he keeps doing.
Barenthal has played every single character like he played Shane from Walking Dead.
He does.
See-
It's very repetitive. I agree.
Yeah, when you think of like Dolph Lundgren, best Punisher, best He-Man, but when you think of Dolph Lundgren's Punisher, like he's also insane. He like lives in a sewer and drives a motorcycle around there, and he's got a base full of weapons. But he has this like cold, like dead eyes. Like he's not really crazy as much as he's just been broken to a point where he feels nothing. And I like that a lot better than just like literally insane, having like PTSD, meltdowns constantly, drooling all over yourself and crying a bunch, and it's a bit much.
I
just want to read this because I don't want it to get lost. Dead Gamers 13 yet again. Once again, thank you very much. But because we couldn't cope with the dark, I should have probably saved all these and read them together. But because we couldn't cope with the dark version of Superman idea, it all gets dropped into dropped for a more comic book Ben Affleck Zack Snyder version. That was hard to say. Did we miss an opportunity? Don't shout at me. I won't. But probably. I mean, I think.
We missed a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, there was a lot of missed opportunities there. Here he actually. I'm slow at sending chats to answer my questions before I can ask them. It's fine. I mean, next time I know, You know what you can always do? Just put a number at the end of it, like 1-4, and then I know that there's more coming, and I'll save them and put them all together as like one large one. If you're like, obviously you don't feel obligated, but if you're hitting the point where you have too much to say in one super chat, just put a little indicator that there's a second one, and then we can stack them. But anyway, I'm sorry, where were we? I got a little.
I was gonna talk. I see you brought up you didn't like the Wolverine game being too violent. I'm on the complete opposite boat. It's nice to see him finally like unleashed recently with like certain media. Like you got Logan.
I just don't like. I like it. I just don't like it when he's wearing the suit. I feel like Professor X would be like, I need to have a word with you, Logan. Like, when you're wearing that suit, please keep the murdering to a minimum.
It would be like if you started punching employees at your job while wearing your uniform. It's
just
a bad
like,
look. It's just a bad look.
I mean, there is like I've read comics though where he's in his yellow suit with like he's
I know.
in and around in the X-Men. He's like slaughtering the minions of the big
I
bad.
Dude, I love violent movies, man. Don't get me wrong. I can handle violence more than most people. You know, I love it. I'm a gore fiend, but it's one of those things where like I feel like, you know, Charles Xavier. I said this last time. Like, you know, imagine the team coming back from a mission and Wolverine is covered in viscera, and everyone looks traumatized, and he's like, "All right, good job, everybody. See y'all next time." Logan, I need you to stay behind for a minute.
Logan, can we have a word with you?
Yeah,
discussion, please.
I've been reading the minds of, you know, the other teammates you have, and they're all very traumatized going on missions with you.
Maybe that's how
Kitty Pryde's been having nightmares, bro. Yeah, he keeps brain wiping everybody.
That's how he gets faster.
Yeah.
It's like he turns all their memories into like Wolverine walking around handing flowers and candies to people. It's like,
It's like, look, Logan, on your own time, you can do whatever you want, but when you're wearing the suit, can we give you like a stun gun or a pair of nunchucks that you can use as a primary weapon before the big claws come out and you start... Like in the game, I was like... The first person he kills in that gameplay, I was like, hell yeah, that's violent. And then he stabs, his second person he kills, he stabs a woman in the face. Yeah. And I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
And then I was very upset when the blood just kind of disappears gradually. I was like, dude, that would have been so sick if at the end of the level he's like Red Swamp Thing, like covered in intestines and shit. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I thought they should kind of keep it. I mean, like, because it would just kind of he would only be yellow at the beginning of every level for about 3 seconds before he got completely red. But at the same time, I kind of want him to stay at least a little bit bloody.
I said this before. Like, I'm picture a scene where you got the X-Men doing their thing, you know. They're attacking a bunch of bad guys, and Colossus is like tying a bad guy up in like rebar and incapacitating him. Jean Grey's got a psychic hold on somebody, and Cyclops like shoots a laser on a ceiling and makes it fall on somebody. And then Wolverine's got like a severed head on his claws, and he's like stabbing the eyes out, and the brains are like oozing out of the eye stabs. And they all kind of just stop, and they're like, Jesus, Wolverine, settle down.
How do they cope with that? I mean, because you're right, like, that doesn't happen. Like, I've seen him kill people. Like, it's usually some background minions, and it's like kind of
he
like
should kill people. I like it, but just tone down the visceral.
Like, just to acknowledge what Dead Gamer said here. I don't know. The most I've ever sent in a single super chat to anything is $10. I don't know if you go higher. I don't know exactly if there's like a character limit at higher numbers. I don't know exactly how it works.
I think there are. Jay's right. Where it's like, well, he doesn't need nunchucks. He has adamantium fists. He could just punch people. That should be that could be fatal right there.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, his hands are already sledgehammers. Yeah,
his feet and his head. Imagine getting a headbutt from Wolverine.
I'm really glad.
Actually, just punching Wolverine would hurt a person.
Yeah, they show that in the first movie, right?
Yeah.
I am glad they got rid of that stupid like clanking noise. That every time he gets punched in the head, it's like someone's clanking metal.
Well, they only did that in that scene, and that was to drive it home. The only other times that you really heard the clank, it's just it was always a reminder at certain scenes, like, hey, that's just them for general audiences being like, hey, remember this. It's stupid. It's annoying to people who know it. But I get why they do that kind of shit.
And yeah, I mean, it was like Deadpool Wolverine, man. When he finally puts that goddamn mask on, it was one of those moments where it's like, yes, the comic book character's finally been brought to life, you know? Mm-hmm. It looked great, the costume. Thank you. I mean, how long did that need to take, man? And again, that's the thing I like about the Deadpool movies is
24 years specifically is what it took.
Yeah. Deadpool, all 3 Deadpool movies show you can have comic book accurate costumes and they can look great. The X-Men have loud, colorful, individual costumes that reflect their personalities. You know, Cyclops and Wolverine. You know, Cyclops is blue with yellow accents. Wolverine is yellow with blue accents. This represents their, you know, opposing
dichotomy.
views and stuff. Yeah, their dichotomy. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just great stuff, and it's just loud and colorful and fun.
Well, it's almost like a yin and yang thing. Like they both understand each other's methods, but they don't agree with them. That's really what it is. And yeah, I mean, like Colossus is basically
Colossus looked amazing.
Colossus is wearing a fucking a leotard. He actually has a cool alternative costume that they gave him for a while. That was basically it looked more like Zangief's leotard.
Well, I liked his costume in the Deadpool movie. It was like a black tank top and pants, but he has this red X on it, and he's got But the thing about that, why I remember seeing Colossus for the first time in Deadpool 1, and I was like, dude, this is sick, because they used 3 actors to bring him to life. They had a mocap body double, then they had a voice actor, and then they had a face actor. And that's why Colossus is he's Colossus. He's not, some guy painted metal. Same thing with the second movie with Juggernaut. Juggernaut looked awesome. It was much better than the, part X-Men 3 version. It's yeah, dude. Yeah, and then the Deadpool versus Wolverine.
Hold that thought. To this day, that pisses me off. That version of him in the third, because the way he gets taken out. First of all, it's fucking stupid no matter what. But it's even dumber when you realize that he's not a mutant. So getting that close to the mutant wiping out.
It doesn't work.
He should. That wouldn't have mattered to him. He's literally magic. His powers are magical. So it's like, I'm sorry. I never had the opportunity on a live stream to voice.
Oh, we're talking about X-Men 3.
Yeah, when he
Last Stand. Yes. I thought we were talking about Deadpool 2. I was confused.
No.
All right. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah. What are those fucking aliens called? They're supposed to be like green.
Huh?
The little boy. He's like, what are they called? Starts with an M. Morlocks?
Morlocks, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's one of the things that always gets clearly when they were doing the movie, they didn't do any fucking research on Juggernaut.
Yeah.
And it was
back to Incredibles.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
There's a lot to complain about X-Men 3.
But I'm just saying,
there's a lot to say.
Well, back to Incredibles, the cool thing was all the characters using their powers in tangent with each other. Same thing with the beginning of Days of Future Past. A whole movie like that, where the X-Men are a team fighting a bunch of Sentinels and doing cool power combos. That stuff's fun.
Did you guys ever watch it's the Ultimate Avengers cartoon movie?
Ultimate Avengers. And then the second one is with the Black Panther.
Yeah. So the first one I think still holds up as one of the best big fights in pretty much any I don't know, big superhero film. It's the Avengers versus Hulk, and you can actually the Avengers, the whole film, the Avengers aren't working together. It's like every Avengers movie, right? They're all butting heads. They don't get along with each other. They don't know how to work as a team, and they end up falling apart. And then they come back together to fight the Hulk at the end, and they all fight in tandem with each other, where they're all Iron Man shoots the Hulk in Giant Man's fist, and he punches him back into the ground. That was a really great. I think that movie's just not really talked about at all anymore.
It's funny, before Two Hose became not a thing anymore, that was on my list as for one that I wanted to talk about. So maybe, hey, you know what? Let's fucking do it. Let's do it on this time slot. We're gonna do it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll talk about it afterwards, Jen. But the whole those movies, I remember that because that was one thing I loved about those was that they made the Hulk the villain.
Yeah,
and I loved how Captain America really shows who he is, because he knows he's gonna lose a fist fight with the Hulk, but he has to do it because he's Captain America, and that's what he has this moral obligation internally to go into a losing battle.
Yeah. Dude, there's this great bit where he's like, "Hey, we're not finished yet," and he fucking whacks fucking the Hulk in the face, and it's that's. I think it's fucking pummeled, but it's that's so fucking badass that he just straight up punched him. It's awesome.
Yeah, that was a very the first few of those were very underrated. There was that one, there was the sequel, and then I think the third movie was the Iron Man movie the Invincible Iron Man. That one was solid. And then they kind of went off the rails after that.
I don't remember liking the I think the second one. I don't know.
The second one was just really just like part two. It was quite literally part two. It was about, but Black Panther got involved and it was a little bit more muddled.
The Hulk wasn't really in it. I know that kind of fucked it a little bit.
Got a little bit more muddled, but the I know we've been having a lot of fun with these topics, but I do want to give Jen a sense.
You're really muddled there, man. Yeah,
hold
sorry.
on. Did my mic go weird for a second?
Yeah.
Sorry. I want to give Jen off a chance to talk about because I know you're big into House of the Dragons. I do want to give you a chance to talk about that for a little bit before we start to wrap it up, kind of thing. So.
Oh yeah. Well, have you guys? I don't know. I don't like. Have you guys?
I follow the show.
No.
I know what happened. So you
I'm
can
hearing
talk
the
about
premiere of this season is pretty good, but I haven't seen any of it.
Okay.
The floor is yours, though.
Oh, sure. Okay, so just kind of like general opinion. Season 2 to me was actual garbage. I think that was a really bad season of television. I think like it treaded water to a point where it crippled a lot of the characters. Like people were acting how they shouldn't, like wouldn't reasonably act in that situation, but they had to because they couldn't like leave that location, or they had to stay where they were because they didn't. The irony being that like season 1 was all about setting up the conflict, right? Like the Civil War is coming. We all know this like family's going to break apart, and then it gets set up by the fact that Rhaenyra's son gets murdered by accident by Aemond in the finale. And then like the final shot of this first season is literally Rhaenyra, like she's got this look on her face like she's gonna get revenge. And then season 2 she just goes back to being like, no, we need to stop this war before it starts. I want peace, blah blah blah. So it's like, okay, and then nothing really happens, and these characters drag their feet the entire time. So season 3 starts off with a battle. So people are really gassing it up because something actually happened, and I don't think it's a bad episode. It's fine, The fighting's pretty good for the most part. There's like some things that I found kind of stupid. They're not to spoil too much, but there's this scene with like a big naval battle's happening. And the sea snake makes a really weird choice. After just proving that he's like a really good naval commander, he makes like the worst choice where he turns his ship and like to the I don't know, the side of the ship towards the bow of the enemy ship, and it like lets the enemy crash into his ship. Essentially, I just didn't really get that. Anyway. Overall, like it was just a big fight, really. I'd say the majority of the episode was just a big battle. So nice to see something happening. My problem though is that the characters have been kind of like stepped on already, and it's been like 2 years since the show last came out, and so
God,
yeah, like I think it's been 2 years. It's been like it's doing that 2 year season jump. So it's like. I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones and a big fan of Westeros as a world, but even as a fan, I'm still like, you got to go back and watch the last few episodes of season 2 to understand what's going on, because I'm a little fuzzy on a lot of the characters' names, what they're all doing, especially like some of the really side characters, like the guys.
That's what those YouTube recaps are for, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't understand why that's become the standard for all of these shows. Like. I think the one that it seemed, I would say Stranger Things was really the one that people took notice because obviously it was kids that grew up way too fast for like the amount of time. So I think it was heightened because of that. Yeah. But it's become this standard where you have to wait 2 years. What happened to we're gonna start filming now for the next season? I
don't get it. I mean, because Game of Thrones was also a massive show, the same size as House of the Dragon, and it once a year, man, once a year a season of that show came out, and it was great. And like, yes, they were like, I know the actors have all said they were like worked to the bone and all that stuff, but it's like if you're signing on to a big production,
like shut the fuck up, you're making this shit money. Like everybody's worked to the bone. Everybody has like. Am I quieter than everybody? Hold on. Did something happen to my mic? Okay.
You're good.
I'm
fine. Yeah, so I'm not really like thrilled by the fact that you have to wait 2 years for this show that like season 2 just wasn't very good in my opinion. I don't think it really did step on the story. It didn't make any sense, and George R. R. Martin has also been really pissed about it. And I'm not saying like, you know, just because the author doesn't like it means it's bad as like a principle. But you know, it is a bit telling that he's having like essentially a big fight with the showrunner. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. They're having like a
No.
huge fight over the show because he was initially like after Game of Thrones. Essentially, George R. R. Martin really wanted a lot of influence over the shows going forward, and you know HBO promised him that like, hey, we're gonna keep you involved. You're gonna like help write some of the episodes, of course, and we're gonna keep you like in on everything. And that was like the relationship he had for most of the time with D&D there, Game of Thrones. But I guess this new guy, I can't remember his name, who's running House of the Dragon, has essentially just cut him off. He refuses to like talk to him. They have a huge beef going on right now. So it's not a great sign because like the more they diverge from the source material, the worse it gets. Like the reason fucking Duncan Egg was so good, or Night of the Seven Kingdoms was so good, was because it was like 1-for-1.
Yeah.
And
Well, that was the same thing with Game of Thrones. It was as long as they had a book to go back. Now they obviously didn't use every single storyline from the books. They merged some characters for narrative continuity and make it move quicker, and removed other ones, which is, I mean, that's just to be expected. It's if you're taking a series of novels, you're generally going to remove some of it.
yeah.
But by the time they got to where the books that haven't come out, they were working off of what I would assume is just treatments for the novels, and it shined that they were no longer able to just it's an adaptation and an invention are two completely different skill sets.
Yeah,
And a lot of
exactly.
people don't realize that.
Yeah.
Like it's just because you're good at taking one thing and reworking it into something else doesn't mean that you'd be good at making the original thing.
Yeah, well, what
And
if fucking one of D&D, I can't remember which one made Wolverine X-Men Origins. So he went from that to Game of Thrones, and you'd be like, hey, well, that's a huge skill set. Like you pointed out, adaptation versus creation there.
which is funny because you could easily adapt Wolverine because there's Wolverine Origins. There was so many
Oh,
books
yeah.
about him before the X-Men, before he appeared in the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, you could have, but
You could have, yeah.
it's funny. And so the only thing I really know is apparently a lot of people are really weirded out by the fact that Aemond and Alicent are like
Kissing.
yeah. And I was like, do you guys not remember that that's how the original show started off? Like
Incest.
incest is like a very big thing in this
I've been
universe.
complaining about the lack of incest in other Game of Thrones related episodes and shows.
Yeah, like I want more incest in my Game of Thrones.
Right.
What do you?
I'm not like thrown by it. I don't know.
I think
I
so.
saw
Here's
a
the thing.
I saw a funny meme where someone like it was like all the different forms of incest. It was like brother and sister, fine. Cousin on cousin, fine. Aunt and uncle, fine. Mother and son, disgusting.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I think that's what's doing it. I think so. It's that like the Oedipus syndrome, right?
Oedipus.
And it's Oedipus. Sorry, Oedipus, and the I think that one bothers people more for some reason. I don't know. Like they should all bother you the same amount.
I think
But
they're all really sexy. I don't know what the problem is.
Well, I mean, I'm saying like obviously we're down with it here.
Yeah.
We're all for the incest, but I'm saying like other people, weirdos that aren't
Yeah.
down with incest. Like if you're weirded out by one, you should be weirded out by all.
Yeah.
I maybe it's one of those. I'm not sure what that says about people though. Like all jokes aside, like were there a lot of people who were like, yeah, I'd bang my sister if I could, like but then it's like you get to like, no, the mom is off limits.
Yeah.
It's like you come out of the vagina, you never go back in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I don't know. People get kind of weirded out by weird stuff, but like this is a trademark thing in the show. It's very prominent throughout the story of Game of Thrones incest. So I don't like. It's not I wasn't like, oh my god, they kissed. What? It's like, yeah, of course, right?
Yeah, quite
I think,
literally in the first episode of original Game of Thrones, someone climbs up a tower and watches a dude fucking his own sister.
yeah,
Like that,
exactly.
and everyone was like,
Twin
"Yeah, that's
sister,
normal."
twin
Yeah,
sister too.
if you twins, you cannot get more genetically close than
Yeah,
that.
yeah, literally. Yeah. No, I don't really. I like. It wasn't even like. Sorry, I'm not to get the dynamics of the kiss. The kiss wasn't that bad. Like it was just kind of a. It was like how a guy's been married to his wife for like 50 years kisses her. It's not like a. It was like tongue. She didn't kiss him back. She was weirded out by it.
I'd have to watch the episode to really see the context of why everyone's freaking out, but because I've only seen a still shot, and I was like, it just
I
didn't seem. It seemed less. It seemed really tame compared to some of the other shit we've seen. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
and
basically all.
and for the record, not to victim blame or anything, but Allison kind of asked for it. She was like, she was really touching him a lot. She was doing a lot
Well,
of
wasn't
mommy
there?
talk.
I only watched really the first season and the first half of season 2 because I got bored of it.
Yeah,
If I recall correctly, wasn't Aemond like always? He would go to the brothels and he really didn't even go there to like hook up. He went there to like have like a mother figure, right? Wasn't that like the whole thing?
I think you're thinking of Damon, because
No,
Damon
I'm
had.
pretty sure it was
Oh no, it
Aemond.
was Aemon. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
right. Yeah,
Aemond. Yeah,
no,
because they make fun of him for like not actually fucking anybody there. He just goes there, spends his money, and kind of hangs out.
yeah, he
It was
does.
like,
He does. Yeah, she coddles him like a child, like a mother
yeah,
son
it
thing.
was so it's a payoff to a story, and I just don't. I think people weren't aren't they found the line and they've stepped on the line officially, I guess.
I mean, yeah, people need to fucking relax. It's Game of Thrones. Like, there was so much more worse, weird things happen. There's like full on rape in this show. Like, what
know.
are you guys talking about?
Remember in Game of Thrones when they like tortured that dude with like the rat in the cage
Yeah.
burrowing into his chest?
Yeah.
Remember when they skinned all those people? Like,
Remember when they cut Theon's dick off? Like,
I mean,
now
that's
this is
just
where-
that's pure comedy right there.
I mean,
Is it
God.
really a show if you haven't cut a dude's dick off?
exactly. Yeah, not even.
You
you
know
guys-
that it's funny to this day? There's still people who debate whether or not, and this is the books, not the show. This is like there's people who debate whether or not Theon's dick was actually cut off or if he was just made to think that. I was like, no. It specifically states that it was taken from him.
how the hell would you? What?
Ramsey
How would you trick
was like,
me?
I'm not gonna lie, like that. The Ramsey torture it's genius on levels you can't even, because it's more than just that. There's so much to the Ramsey torture that if you look at it start to finish, the setup for we've gotten out. Oh no, I brought you right back to where you are. The fall of being brought right back. The playing into his promiscuity and all of these things is just because he could have easily just did that from the beginning. Like he could have easily just been, because he even asked him like, "What's the body part you care about the most?" Then he like cuts off one of his fingers. It's like that could have just been him being like, "I know what you cut. Like, this is all you're."
Yeah.
But he really there's something about the way Ramsey does all of it. It's the best torture in at least from a mental standpoint you'll see in anything.
For sure. I mean, it's worse in the books as well because like Theon like becomes completely unrecognizable physically. He's like hunched over and he's got like white hair because he's like been stressed out so much from all the torture and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the sausage. Somebody just mentioned the sausage in front of him. I love that gift to this day. Pork sausage.
Yeah.
The eunuch have a phantom cock.
Yeah, I also want to like call it Sidera there because they were mentioning other stuff about season 2 of House of the Dragon.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep up with Sidera, but there was a lot that was being said.
Well, they said Alicent literally treaded water in season 2, which she did go to swim in a lake there. Did you guys watch season 2?
Only the first half of it, and then I got bored.
Okay. Well, I think they're like. I'll just say one last thing. Really pissed me off about the show that like gets glossed over a lot by people who talk about it. Is that Alicent goes to visit Rhaenyra on Dragonstone, and she's like, essentially saying, "I'll give everything up see, and like I'll betray my family if you let me and my daughter go. And the idea is that she's gonna let Rhaenyra come into King's Landing. She's gonna open up the gates and like surrender the city. And so she goes on a secret mission to Rhaenyra at Dragonstone. Like it's all hidden on a boat. She like shows up. They have a big discussion. It seems like a big betrayal scene, but like totally disregarding the fact that because she got to Dragonstone on this ship means that she could have gotten away on a boat with her daughter, no problem. She could have disappeared right then and there, and she didn't have to like negotiate anything. But people just kind of like drop that as a point. Like I think this happened a lot in Game of Thrones, where the geography of locations and stuff starts to get ignored for the sake of the plot.
Yeah,
And
the narrow sea becomes more narrow as the show goes along.
yeah, but now they're not even utilizing how narrow it is because she could have fucking gotten away like
Yeah.
she wanted to, but like doesn't do it for some reason. It's really stupid.
That was one of the biggest complaints, and I shared it, was that toward the end of the show there was just they essentially had gotten to the point where they were just doing fast travel as if it was Elder Scrolls.
Yes.
Oh, we've been there already. We can get there. We just have to hit select and
Yeah.
we're good. Whereas every time they went to a new location earlier in the show, they actually showed the travel and all of the area between it. It definitely leaned too much on suspend your disbelief of this.
Well,
Same
I think there was something kind of cool about the Game of Thrones show was like you don't really know how much time is passing in between scenes, you know. So it could be days or hours or weeks or months. Like it really, it doesn't really say anything about that. Especially in the
that
first
was the
few
case.
seasons.
That was the case early on. In later seasons, they would have a conversation, and then they would come back later in a later scene to the end of that conversation, and someone just showed up, and it was like, "How did you travel 1,000 miles in 15 minutes?" Like
the same thing happened with like the sequel trilogy in Star Wars, where it's like light speed travel became just teleportation. And it's like, okay, so there's no time in between you jumping from one place to another. It's like, that's not how light speed works. There's
travel is actually one of the hardest things to account for. So I'm actually currently writing like the framework for a sci-fi story. And one of the hardest things I could come up with was like, I was like, how much time would it take to get from this place to this place? So I kept shrinking it down because I was like, I don't want, I want it to be at least relatively accurate, even if you're moving at the speed of light. It from planet to planet still takes a while. It's still a long distance.
Yeah.
And I don't mean planet to planet in galaxies. I mean planet to planet in a solar system. Like the speed of light would still take longer than you would want in a movie to go from Earth to Neptune. It would still take longer than you would realize. And it is actually one of the hardest things to account for, because you don't want to have to be like, okay, well now I'm going to be on a boat for 4 months.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's fair.
So the best way to deal with that is to essentially shrink your location. But the problem is you can't do it after you've already established the distances.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the problem with the Force Awakens and like the sequel trilogy in general, is like just how quickly they jump around when they like establish where planets are already.
Yeah.
Like they, I don't know, they do. It's a lot to get into with the travel and stuff. It's just like the main point being that like companies and bad writers will essentially just like slag this off as like a non-issue and teleport the characters to wherever they need them to be for the plot to work, completely shattering the world building in the process just by a quick scene.
Well,
did you guys watch Widow's Bay?
No,
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Fucking hilarious. Spooky show. It's the lady who did Parks and Rec and actually wrote the Ghostbusters 2016 version. But damn it, dude, I watched this show because I heard it was good. And then the first season finished, and I watched the whole thing, and it was hilarious and spooky. And it's basically like Jaws, but instead of like they're trying to keep the beaches open because of a shark, but despite a shark, it's like a curse on an island. This island has a curse, and the locals are all like superstitious about, all these supernatural things and goings on. And there's a new mayor, and he's trying to drive up tourism for this haunted island town. And it's great because every episode, or at least the first 8 episodes, kind of have this, like, it's all one, like, you know, storyline, but each episode has this, like, monster of the week. And there's so many different references, you know, like the first episode is The Fog. The second episode is like The Shining, or maybe kind of It. The third episode is, It Follows. The fourth episode is Carrie. And it's one of those things where I was telling people about it, and we watched an episode in my Discord with a bunch of people, and we ended up watching the whole show, like 8 hours. Like, we ended up just like, next episode. And it was funnier the second time around. And I gotta say, it was definitely worth watching. And it doesn't like leave a bunch of open-ended, you know, questions for the second season. Like they wrap up a bunch of plot points, you know, which it was satisfying. Makes you want more.
I
It was good.
Heard of it? Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah. It's like it just kind of finished like a few weeks ago, and now it's like exploding, like virally, all the memes and stuff. Corona, this is the rhythm of the night. And it's funny because, like, yeah, there's this chick, Patricia. She's like this nerdy assistant to the mayor. She is like, I think the overall, everyone loves her. Like, everyone thinks she's the best character on the show. She's hilarious. She's got 2 episodes that focus around her, and those are like the highest rated on IMDb and stuff. But man, very funny show. Very, I'm not going to say it's original, but it isn't based off of anything. There's a lot of references to, if you're a big horror movie buff, and you like to laugh, I would definitely recommend it. The last 2 episodes are, you know, I think the weakest. The last 2 episodes kind of dive into, like, you know, Lovecraftian stuff. There's a good prequel episode about the town in the past when it was founded. They got like this Jebediah Springfield kind of thing, the town's founder, and that episode's like the witch. You know, it's good, man. It was different, and it's very like I said, just funny. It was good. A show that was like scripted. It was written funny. It wasn't just a bunch of idiot actors improvising a bunch.
Right.
So yeah.
I do have a question. That's actually a slight. Go ahead, Jen. And then I'll say what I was going to say.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I've been watching From, which, I mean, it's not
Mystery Box.
Yeah, it's not doing that.
Every question is answered with more questions.
Yeah, exactly. It feels very. I mean, it's the same production thing as
From Lost.
Yeah, so it's very.
I do have a question though. So, like you said, if you're a horror movie buff and you like to laugh, have either of you ever seen the Spanish version of Child's Play, by chance?
No.
Oh yeah, like the Spanish dub, you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually have it. I ripped it off of Instagram, and I was laughing my ass. I watched it like 50 times, so I'm gonna show it. And I don't think hopefully I don't get flagged for this, but this is fucking.
A lot of people play this clip.
Yeah, I've never. But yeah, here it is.
A ver, hijo de la chingada, deja de estar viendo memes, pendejo.
A la verga me vale verga, perro. Y cálate a la verga, cae tu puta madre a la verga. La verga, vergazos.
I just love how he all of a sudden he becomes like Christian Bale Batman.
I've seen the German version, which is also pretty funny.
I'll have to find that for next time. I'm gonna have them all here.
Yeah, that's just this like Cholo Mexican fucking Chucky.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just like randomly stumbled into like Spanish dubs of movies, but
A la verga literally means at the dick, and it's used kind of like forget about it for Italians. Like it's just used like for tons of different reasons, you know. Very, it's very good. It's very versatile saying.
With that being said, I am starting to get pretty hungry, and I would like to go eat something. So
I did the Hot Ones challenge on Sunday.
Oh, did
it's
you?
Not
How'd
too terrible. It was good.
I don't even think that would affect me, to be honest with you.
It wasn't too bad. But then I do have these 10 bottles of hot sauce, and the third one is my favorite. It's the white hot mustard. And I'm going to make a Cubano sandwich and put some of this on it. It's going to be good.
Who made you do the Hot Ones challenge?
my YouTube channel. You know, my audience.
I'll do the Hot Ones challenge if people want to pay me to do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was. I'm gonna give away some of these bottles to my cousin.
I just
there's
think
10 bottles. You know, I don't need that
I just
much.
think that it would be very underwhelming for me because
I like spicy food, so I handle it well.
So, yeah,
I saw Leon do it. Leon did it, and he was acting like a, you know, yeah, he was acting really overacting, but he was like slathering his wings in a stupid amount of hot sauce. Like
he probably. Well, the only thing that really bothers me, like my tongue can handle it. It's usually if I get it on my skin, that's when it sucks.
Well, I did nuggets because nuggets are little edible plates, and you just put a little dollop on a nugget and eat it. It was way easier, you know, having to deal with bones and biting around it and getting that shit on your lips. Yeah. Yeah, it was fun though. I'll probably do it again sometime. It wasn't too bad. It might be a new stretch goal, you know. If we get a certain amount, I'll stop what I'm doing and do the Hot Ones challenge again.
Yeah, I do it. But maybe I'll go eat some hot sauce right now. I have some nice Carolina Reaper sauce in my fridge.
I'm excited for this sandwich I'm gonna make.
But before we do that, I go off and I eat something insanely spicy, it's time for everybody to plug their shit. Where you tell us where you are, where we can find you, what's coming up next, and whether or not you'll be on the show again. I'm not even sure anymore.
You're going a little muddled there.
I think my mic is just slowly starting to. I think it also might be my face.
Okay. Sorry, it's hard to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah. It sounds like you're underwater.
I think it's when I play a clip or something. Or
yeah,
it anyway, so like I was saying, this is where you tell us where you're from, where you are, where you're going, all that shit I said before. We'll start with Stupenzo because he's on the bottom.
I'm gonna be on AJ's later tonight. Tighten Up Tuesday, Abomination AJ's, and we'll probably watch a movie in his Discord after that. And then Wednesday, I think Nielsen ratings has been moved to Wednesday, which is, you know, they did that because England played a soccer game. Who gives a shit?
I love soccer.
You could watch your soccer game while you're on a stream, right? I mean, anyway. So yeah, we'll be doing Nielsen ratings tomorrow. I think. I think I'll only be on it for an hour because I got a video premiering at 4:20. I think we're going to be doing the We Watch for Howard the Duck. That's getting re-released. Me and actually Andrew watched that like 2 years ago.
Okay, I want to point out if they moved it to Wednesday because of this game, it was England tying Ghana. That's
yeah. It's like who cares,
Talk about underachieving.
I know. I was telling them like, let's still do it, please, and I never got a word in, so I just slept in.
You could have watched he could have watched the whole game while that was on, and you would have had no reaction whatsoever.
I assume it's because Lance was watching it somewhere at a bar or something, probably, hopefully. But anyway, yeah, so what else tomorrow? Yeah, Howard the Duck, We Watch, and then I'm going to be on Proctophiles stream to talk about this underrated, nobody's watching it, one of the best movies I saw all year. It was made for no money. It's better than Obsession. It's called Positions. It's about Crypto Boy who's addicted to his phone. And it was very much like Obsession, where it's about, you know, people wanting things that they don't deserve and, you know, feeling entitled to, you know, things they don't have. It was very funny, though. The movie was hilarious. It's one of the funniest comedies I've seen in 20 years. I've been recommending it to people. Everybody, except Gord King. Gord King said he didn't hate it, didn't love it. But everybody else has been like, God bless you for recommending this movie to me, Enzo. It was great. I loved it. Proctophile was one of them. Nadia liked it. Uninspired Reviewer loved it. A bunch of people loved it. So I definitely recommend watching this movie. I feel sad because I see the filmmaker on Twitter saying, it'd be great if you guys could give this movie a good review on Apple because the algorithm could help. Obviously, people are buying it. I want to give the guy like $10. I want to Venmo him or PayPal him $10 somehow for the movie because I did not watch it on Apple. But yeah, I'll be doing that on Proctophile's channel Wednesday. And then I guess we will be doing a Thursday Stupenzo cast. Finish this stupid Space Cadet show. And that should be it until Sunday.
Generation Offended.
Yeah, so I'm doing a big boys review right now. I've done part 1, part 2. I'm going to do part 3 in the next couple weeks here. it's gonna be really long. Already did like an hour video and then a 40-minute video. It looks like it's gonna be over an hour. So if you guys like long video essays on shitty TV shows, I'm your guy. And yeah, check it out. Generation Offended is the YouTube channel, and that's about it. I don't have anything else. No other social media.
It's fine. As for me, I've already actually kind of started because there was a few things I could pre-write, like about the marketing and my feelings on just general overview stuff of Supergirl. Obviously, I haven't started writing about the plot yet because I haven't seen the movie. But so I'm gonna put out a video for that, mostly just to knock off the rust. I haven't put out a video in a while, and then that's mostly just gonna be so that way I'm in top form for when Lanterns comes out in what is it, like a little over a month. Because that's the one I'm really excited to talk about because I love Green Lantern and I think they're doing everything wrong. But you could always also find me here talking about whatever the current thing is, or in this case, today we kind of talked about a lot of random shit. I do think we're gonna start mixing in some classic movies as well, just to be a little bit more positive on certain weeks. Because
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah, just gotta hammer out some details with some people on who would be interested in doing that and what the format would be. But yeah, other than that, it just leaves me to thank, my guests who showed up. Obviously the two here and Miss Sparkle, who's on for a while as well. Thank the chat, especially those who chat. And I don't have a co-host to thank. So you guys are my co-hosts today, my guest and co-host. We will see you all probably next week. Maybe not. I'll let everybody know. If there's not gonna be a show, I'll let everybody know. But that's it for now. Tits out.